Hey all, welcome back to Fire and Water Travel Services. My name is Darren, and today I'm going to be your tour guide for Split, Croatia. We were there recently on a Virgin Voyages Cruise, and we happened to do the Game of Thrones tour here in Split. It was a great time. I'll be right back and show you what we saw. Hey, all, welcome to Fire and Water Travel Services. We specialize in affordable luxury and culinary adventures with all types of travel, including cruises, all-inclusives, and any type of travel that you're looking for. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and make sure you like and subscribe and share this channel. All right, all, like I said, we were here on our Virgin Voyages cruise on the Resilient Lady, left out of Athens, and Split was our first stop. One of the things I loved about this cruise ship is that in the elevators it had these big LCD panels on the back of the elevator telling you what port you were in and all the times that you needed to know and all that. This was our ship in the at the port, and it was a good quarter-mile walk to the main area of the port. We had to walk through a bunch of ferry-type ports where there was a lot of ferries going to the different areas around. But the cool thing about it, this is a really cool waterfront area, and it had all these little cafes, probably about 2 football fields long of different cafes, that just outdoor cafes that just sat right out there in the port area. So it's cool walking around the port area. They had this big map out here showing you where you were, what all the things were all around. It also had some good shops around. Everything looked, medieval-ish. It was very old buildings, and from what we were told, they built a lot of stuff on top of stuff and repurposed older buildings in this city. It was kind of a thing to do back then, is just to repurpose all these older buildings and turn them into modern shops and all that. So we had a good time walking around before our tour began, just checking out the waterfront again. But one of the cool things was they had this brass model of the city is where we started our tour, and you can tell it's got the whole model of the city here. But it was a really cool place to start our tour.
Maybe even first, we will start here with this city map. So you can see the small number 2. So we are located here. This is the path. And here.
All right, guys, so we walked right into Diocletian's palace. So Diocletian was one of the last Roman emperors, and this was his retirement palace. Actually, he retired here, built this palace in Split, Croatia. And if you don't think this is familiar to you, this is where they had the dragons kept in Marine, in Game of Thrones. So this is where they shot a lot of those scenes with the dragons being in the dungeon area. This is it. But this was the basement area of Diocletian's palace. Like I said, he was the Roman emperor. He built this big, huge palace here, which encompasses the whole old town of Split, Croatia. And this is the basement area, guys. And one of the cool facts is, up until about 60 or 70 years ago, they didn't even know this existed. And they found it, they started digging it out, because it actually needed to be digged out for one of the reasons you would think. It was used as a sewer. So
When you see these big stones here, this is the original built-in technique called opus quadratum. So the stones were brought from island of Brač and second near Trogir, and then, as I already mentioned to you, the presidential office in White House was also built with stones from island of Brač. Here, when you see these smaller stones, here on the upper floor, that's Salonitas, when they reused the secondarity. And when we see this red brick, that's the Austro-Hungarians when they rolled here, and then they did some kind of renovation. This thing was used for making olive oil. So here in Croatia we have a really long tradition of making olive oil. Why? Because you see this entrance here. So she went through this entrance here inside of the basement of the palace.
All right, guys, so this is the tightest street in Split from what we were told. This is just a little alley, it looks like to me, to get from one place to another, but they said it's the tightest street in Split to get from one area to another. And you can tell this was late July on a Tuesday, and there was a lot of people there doing tours, walking around, seeing things, but a lot of cool stuff in this city. I was a lot surprised to see all the different things that surprised me. This is getting into one of the major courtyards of Diocletian's palace here, and you can see they're still doing a lot of renovations. They're still kind of digging up and finding things and trying to redo some of the older stonework and stuff like that to make it a little bit more so you can tell how it looked back in the day. So a lot of people, a lot of things going on in this courtyard here, but like I said, now we're going to take a look at the main area, the main court of Diocletian's palace.
So if you remember, we met over there by the sitting mat. Then we entered inside of the basements of the palace, and then we climbed up to the palace. Here you can now understand Diocletian. Why did he chose this? Because of this view. But that's just one reason. Second reason is that if someone was coming here to see, he could have seen his enemy.
Again, guys, it's a really cool work in progress here. They're still excavating and putting together some of the finding the old parts of the city, and this is different. You can tell where they were built using different building materials and back when they were building this with the different bricks and stones and marble and all that. And then you can see some of the more modern buildings within it. Some of the streets here are more Venetian because the Venetians did run this city for a long time as well. But a lot of cool ancient architecture here, guys, things to look at. This was actually a place that I guess one of the later emperors of Rome was murdered here after Diocletian. This is the Museum of Split, and cool fact here is they were digging up the flooring to redo it. They found some ancient artifacts, so they shut the museum down, and they're going to be pulling out some more of those ancient artifacts that they found. This is also an area where they shot some of the scenes of Marine in Game of Thrones, where some of the action scenes here as she was showing us.
That's for the
So guys, we are now here inside of a human mouse trap. Why human mouse trap? The name of this is propugnaculum, and propugnaculum in Latin means literally human mouse trap. We are now inside of the Golden Gates, and the Golden Gates had the double gate system. So this was the main entrance. The main road was coming from Salona to the Golden Gates, and then the soldiers would come here. These doors would shut. These doors would shut also. And then people from the terrace, the Croatian people, they would ask them, what is your business with the Croatian? And then if they don't like the answer, they pour the hot boiling water and hot sand ice. And hot sand also. Hot sand was there for the practical reasons to soak up the mud. Yes. So no way out here, this door is shut. The only way out here is this Airbnb here that wasn't here back then and it shouldn't be here right now. This is only less that would be on the inside of the building, you know? So probably
Stay inside the Golden Gate. Wow.
yes.
Well, guys, just to let you know, we did enjoy our, it was about maybe a little 2 hour and 15-minute tour walking around Split. We did some more walking around after the fact. Saw some pretty cool buildings, this statue here and some other buildings outside in the courtyard were actually pretty cool. Really like this port stop. Highly recommend to do the Croatia cruise itinerary because there's some pretty cool stuff. Split was our first stop. We did stop in Dubrovnik and also in Kotor in Montenegro and Corfu, Greece. So pay attention to those videos coming out soon, guys. But check it out. Split, Croatia. It was an awesome trip. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you follow us and check out fireandwatertravel.com for all your travel needs. And I will see you on the next video.